Hello, my name is Niamar Benit Rosdi and my metric number SIM 180019 and my new metric number 17151220/2. I am from Group A and my team leader named Amirul Ashraf and our team decided to choose assignment number 6. I will talk more about information, introduction and a little bit history of mathematics. Most of the people that do not have mathematics background always wonder, when will I use this, or why do we learn maths whenever they try to understand maths. They think that maths is only addition and subtraction, but it is actually more than this. Every part in our life always involved in mathematics, although some of us do not even realize. Not only scientists and engineers will use math. If you are an interior design, you will use math for measurement. If you are a chef, you will measure the ingredient. If you are a racer for Formula 1 or MotoGP, you will calculate how many miles you will travel. As you can see, all of the example of profession that I give use maths. So, what is mathematics? The study of mathematics begins in the 6th century BC. So now I will talk more about history of mathematics. Where do mathematics come from? People at that time called mathematics as a demonstrative discipline. After that, Pythagoras, the man who created the theorem of Pythagoras, who is very famous until today, coined the term mathematics. The term mathematics also came from ancient Greek that we call mathema, meaning subject of instruction. And today, mathematics become the most notable being that the subject is growing larger. Computer become more important and powerful. The application of mathematics to bioinformatics is rapidly expanding. The volume of data being produced by science and industry, facilitated by computer, is explosively expanding. So look around us. Everything, television, laptop, personal computer, everything in the kitchen, data in the computer, all of that actually come from maths. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Amir Ashraf bin Awan Sheikh. My matrix number is 17192307/2. So right now I will present my subtopic, which is mathematics and arts. I will describe more into details about our main topic, which is mathematics and arts itself. So as we know, mathematics are widely known for its versatile in complying with other branch of knowledge. Throughout years of history and also human progress, mathematics itself are familiar with its complexity, granted the mathematics itself as an art. Surprisingly, mathematics can be related with music, dance, painting, architecture, sculpture and also textile. But even so, its influence on visual arts are heavily noticeable due to its beauty, application and also twists. So since 4th century BC, artists have used mathematics in their arts, such as like Polykleitos, a Greek sculpture that being reported to prescribing proportions based on ratio 1 to root of 2 for the ideal male nude. So as we know, golden ratio, which is 3.142 in mathematical world, has been used widely in ancient arts and also architecture, despite any reliable sources. Such as like, for example, Leonardo da Vinci's work with woodcuts shows on the use of the golden ratio itself, which being illustrated by an Italian mathematician, Luca Pacioli. Mathematics has influenced arts in many ways, notably in conceptual tools such as linear perspective, the analysis of symmetry, and mathematical objects such as polyhedra and the Mobius strip. So, an American mathematician, for example, Magnus, creates a stellated polyhedral, a polygon that follows with stellation process as models in his teachings. So, mathematical references like compass for geometry, magic square, translated rhombohedron also be used in arts such as engraving copper plate. Before in history. So mathematical ideas and concepts such as recursion occurs where a function being defined is applied within its own definition, and logical paradox also being used as fundamental and needs in paintings and also in engravings. Other relationships includes the algorithm analysis of artworks by X-ray fluorescence spectroscopy, the finding that traditional batiks from different regions of Java have distinct fractal dimensions, and stimulate to mathematics research. So therefore, no wonder mathematics normally being considered as beautiful with its complexity and expressiveness. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Iqbal Bahaki bin Muhammad Nur, National number 170888092. So I will talk about the connection between mathematics and art. It is easy to view that mathematics and art as a completely different subject, as mathematics is about analytical and art is more about creativity. But many of the core skills in maths and art are actually close related. Both disciplines require the spatial reasoning skills and the ability to recognize the pattern. The astronomers Galileo Galilei wrote that the universe is written in the language of mathematics, and its characters are triangles, circles, and other geometric figures. In fact, many of the artists and mathematicians use geometry in their works. So what are the connections between mathematics and art? So first and foremost, mathematics and art are said to be connected because both needs calculation. Geometry, symmetry, trigonometry, and other branches of mathematics are applied in creating the imaginary works into the artworks. For instance, artists are said to apply mathematics since 4th century BC, when a Greek sculptor, Polykletos, who is considered as one of the important figures by a mathematician, proposed a proportions of a ratio 1:2 of a male nude sculpture in his books. Next, mathematics and art are both beautiful. So as we all know, when the word art is mentioned, all the things that we can imagine is beauty. What about mathematics? The balance of the equations, the theorems, and the proven of the theorems in mathematics can also be beautiful. The mathematician Jerry Picking described that mathematics as an art by stating that the key to the mathematics is elegance and beauty, not dullness and technicality, and that the beauty is the motivating force for a mathematical research. Hence, creativity is needed in mathematics in order to find the solutions for and a proof of a mathematical problems and also the theorems. This led to discovery of multiple ways of solving mathematical problems. Last but not least, the connection between mathematics and art can be seen through the use of tools. These two branches share the certain tools that are required in solving problem in each field. This can be seen through the artworks of the artists that use mathematical tools. Some of the first works of the computer art were created by Desmos Pauhandry, which is the drawing machine 1 and analog machines that based on a Bohm-Side computer and exhibited in 1962. This machine was capable in creating the complex, asymmetrical, curvilinear but repetitive line and drawing thanks to the mathematical tools that used by the artists. And also one of the most famous painting called the Mona Lisa will also use the mathematical tools by the Leonardo da Vinci, who is also the famous artist. The mathematical aspects such as symmetry, proportions, and perspective we can see on that painting. So these are the connections that we can relate the mathematics and the arts. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. I'm Rohanani binti Baharuddin from Group A, going to present to you guys about how mathematical knowledge has been contributing or influencing arts. So as we know, mathematics and arts has been related in so many ways, and even some of the artists came from mathematics background and used their mathematical knowledge to express their creativity in their artworks. Some of the basic knowledge that we already learn from primary school and secondary school, such as geometries, patterns, ratios and symmetries and so on. As for example, we could see Leonardo da Vinci, the greatest polymath during Renaissance, has been using golden ratios in his painting Mona Lisa that has been a famous painting worldwide. We could see that how a simple grid could help artists in their painting and drawing. So in Spain, we have Alhambra, the majestic grand palace ever existed. It has this one audience chamber located at the northern edge of the complex, where it is full of geometric patterns, geometric tiles, and carved stucco panel. And I could tell you, you will be in awe seeing this. And also, Alhambra has largest tower which amazed so many eyes with its most diverse decorative and architectural arts. It was fully decorated with tiles laid in repetitive geometric patterns. So now we talk about M.C. Escher, a good example of how mathematics has influenced art. This graphic artist has used tessellation and logic of space in most of his artworks. Escher also used translation, reflection, and rotation to create various kinds of patterns. So from there, he also installed black and white application to create space and to distinct objects and figures in his artworks. For example, in high and low, Escher has applied light and shadow on concave and convex objects to create space and to create different point of view. And plus, he also placed 5 vanishing points to melt down scenes. From this, we could know that Escher has applied mathematics to create patterns, and from there, he used to create more fascinating artworks. So now we talk about Paula Nadelson, a quilt maker from New York, who has been inspired by bilateral symmetric kaleidoscope, which she thought that this kaleidoscope has portrayed colors and images with different lights. So what she thought was to install kaleidoscope in his quilt designs so that she could create more complex quilt designs with full of colors and different materials, various kind of materials. So from this we could see that from an ordinary quilt maker, Paula Nadelson has changed into someone who has been internationally recognized just because she has been inspired by kaleidoscope. In conclusion, mathematics has influenced people, whether in artworks, fabrics, or paintings, or architectures. Most of them using geometry to create repetitive patterns and using recursive functions and using symmetries. These people just use their basic knowledge in mathematics to apply them in their arts. And we could just read the history to see how many people has been inspired by maths and use it in arts.
Hello, my name is Vivian Anajuda, SIM 180029 or 17097407/1. Our group is doing assignment 6, which is an area where mathematics has played an important role. We chose to do the connection between mathematics and arts. Hence, I'll be presenting the main contributors in this particular connection. First and foremost, there is the portrait of Mona Lisa, which is created by Leonardo da Vinci. I bet it is one of the most famous portraits in the world since everyone knows about it. But what makes it a mathematical art is that Leonardo da Vinci used golden ratio, which is approximately 1.618, to draw the whole painting. The next one is the snow art in the European Alps, which is created by Simon Beck. Most of his illustrations are regular mathematical shapes like fractal shapes and Mandelbrot sets. Being a former cartographer makes it easier for him to draw all the illustrations. The third one is the mathematically inspired illustration created by Carrie Michel. One of them is created to celebrate the Curiosity rover's landing on Mars in August 2012. It might seem like a typical drawing, but it is actually created using Mandelbrot and Julia's set. Besides, other contributors in this particular connection between mathematics and art is Hamid Naderi Yegani's computer-generated illustrations. He created them using mathematical equation. He composed programs on his computer in which, by changing the parameters, he can create various shapes. He made all of his formulas and illustration open to the public because for him, making mathematical objects that resemble real things in life can motivate youngsters to love mathematics. Apart from that, Henry Segerman's 3D models also contribute to this connection. He has found a way to show the complexities of three-dimensional geometry and topology, which is also his areas of expert, into sculptural form. He uses 3D modeling software called Rhinoceros to create shapes like clean bottles and Mobius strips. These are just a few examples of the contributors in the connection between mathematics and arts. There are actually a lot more out there if only we spend some time to look for it. By doing this assignment, I get to know many contributors in this particular connection apart from the famous one like the portrait of Mona Lisa. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.